Rhetorical Quest.
Hi, my name is Dr. Benjamin Klein. I'm Associate Professor of Speech and Communication at Western New Mexico University, and I am going to be your instructor for this class. And so I'm going to start out by making this little video that'll let you know a little bit about me, and then a little bit about the class. You can respond either. I'm going to post this on YouTube, and I'm going to post it in Canvas. So you can respond either in the comments on YouTube or in Canvas, and I might answer, but you don't have to respond. It's not a requirement for the course or anything like that. So let's start right out. This is my car. It's a 1992. I always think it's 91, but it's 92. 1992 Toyota Camry. It has the wonderful advantage of having been paid for over a decade. I'm kind of allergic to debt. I have tons of it because I have student loan debt. My wife has student loan debt, and we've got quite a bit of medical debt because of things that have happened in our lives. But anyway, I would never get a car loan. You know, that's just kind of my way of seeing the world, is that car loans are bad because cars depreciate so fast that you can get upside down really, really easy. And so I generally try and pay cash for cars, which generally means I drive old, ratty cars. This is the door I usually walk into. This is for this says Humanities here. This is Bowden Hall, and this is where my office is. And I had better mask up for when I'm in the hallway here. So, this is my office, 206 Bowden. Now let's go inside. Once I shut the door, I don't mind having my mask off. But I'm gonna wear a mask in the hallway, and if any of you come to my office, I'm gonna wear a mask while you're here. And I would expect you to do the same because it's the rules. If you go around my office, you can see I'm super, super duper into Star Wars stuff. All kinds of stuff and dragon stuff. That's probably one of my real interests. Also very interested in role-playing, fantasy role-playing. Things like the most famous role-playing thing is Dungeons and Dragons. I don't tend to play too much of that, but I play a lot of Pathfinder, and I play a lot of Modern D20, and I play a few others. But it's something I'm really, really into as far as hobbies go. You can see a lot of these books here. Some of them directly relate to communication, but a lot of them are just classics. I'm really into classic literature just as kind of a hobby. Not like, here I am, I'm in the humanities department, which also contains our literature program, our English department, and for them it's not a hobby. So, probably compared to your average person, I'm way into classic literature, but compared to some of them, I'm really not. Also philosophy, really into that. I feel like philosophy, though, and the study of communication have a lot of overlaps. So I consider that study of communication too. Okay, so let's get to know about me in a few more areas. My wife, Jamie, and my dog, Sophie, and this is my daughter, Jubilee.
She's in the first grade.
In first grade.
And I'm a stay-at-home mom, and I substitute for Head Start.
Yeah, and then there's Sophie, who doesn't really have a job.
No, but she likes to get in the trash.
Yeah.
That's her job, is to be a dog and get in the trash.
Okay.
Why are you holding up my...
We also have a hamster. I don't know. He lives in that cage, but it's morning, so he'll be asleep.
That's Brownie Doe.
Yep, Brownie Doe.
And outside we have Aquinas.
Yeah, we have a cat named Aquinas. If I happen to see him, I'll add to the video when I go outside. Okay, bye. All right, so I'm recording using Zoom now, which is probably how we're going to access this class. We're going to do that for the first 2 weeks for sure for all of you. And then after that, we'll see what happens. I'll talk about that a little bit in a minute. But I wanted to continue to tell you a little bit about myself so you know who's teaching the class. Like I said, my name is Benjamin Klein. You saw my wife and my daughter. So those are a big part of my life, and my dog is a big part of my life. I explained that I'm, into Star Wars, into fantasy role playing. I'm an active member of my faith community. I mostly go to Arise Community Church. They changed their name recently, so it's hard for me to remember it. But it's Arise Community Church now. That's where I attend. But if you see me at a different church, it's because sometimes I try out the other ones. Active member of my faith community. I am active in my daughter's education a little more than I had planned this year because school is weird. And that's kind of going to be something that we're going to be talking a lot about, is trying to understand how this is different, because it is really, really different, right? It's different to have our class via Zoom. It's different for me to do this introduction for you via video. It's different to do a lot of the things that we're doing right now. And so because of that difference, we're going to have to make some adjustments. And we're going to talk today about how we're going to make those adjustments. We're going to talk about how the class is going to go. And that's kind of the next part of this video. And this is it. This is small group communication. As if you go to our Canvas page, this is what you'll find my name. People, will ask sometimes, what do you like to be called? Dr. Klein, Professor Klein are fine. Benji is fine. Any of that is fine. I'm in 206 Mountain Hall is my office. My office hours are 1 o'clock to 2 and 1:30. Weekdays are by appointment. I'm in my office a lot more often than that, but that's just due. I will always try and be there unless there's something major going on in my life. And that's about the only time where I can say, I will try and move every appointment around to make that. Sometimes life happens in such a way that even that, just like, sometimes life happens. Classes have to be canceled. These are things that really happen. So I want to talk about this. You have the option of class discussions or tutorials on Tuesday and Thursday. Eventually we'll have the option that you can come to the class if you want to, AV1, or at least I hope we will. I don't know if that's going to really happen or not. But 9:30 to 10:45, Tuesdays and Thursdays, I'll do these Zoom classes. You don't have to go to those, and we'll get to that in just a little bit. We'll explain why. If you want to take this class, if you're like, I'm taking this class online because I work all day long and I will not be able to be there to Zoom in on 9:30 to 10:30, that's fine. That's fine. Or even if you can be there, you just don't want to. That's actually also fine. I hope that eventually the stuff will go over to my media site here. I don't have huge hopes for that at the beginning, though, but eventually I plan on that happening. So anyway, well, we'll be meeting Tuesday, Thursday, 9:30 to 1:45 via Zoom. And what will happen is every week you will have these little choices that you can make. You can either every time there will be something to read. So that's a good thing to point out. Maybe I should go ahead and point that out before I did this in another video I did recently too, where I didn't think to do it until I got to this point. We have books. We have a book that is required for this course. The Essential Guide to Group Communication. A lot of our readings, though, won't come from this book. This book is super cheap, but there are readings that'll come from that book. But anyway, yeah, every single week you'll have this choice. You can, no matter what, you have to do a reading. Everybody has to do a reading. Then you have a choice as to what you can do with that. Either you can write an essay about it. That's a choice. It's a short essay. If you don't know how long 800 to 1,000 words is, it's short. Short essay, check your word count if you're like, because I guess short is a relative term. So look, if you're doing it in Word, it'll be down on the right-hand corner. It'll say how many words you've written. Make sure you have 800 to 1,000. Doing any of the exercises, in this case, at the bottom of the page. There will be different things that you do. There's always going to be an essay option. If you don't want to or cannot attend to the Zoom or come physically, that's a choice. Maybe another choice is you always have the option, if you don't like that exercise, but you also know you can't come to the Zoom. Another thing that you can do is you can make a quick skit. Now, in this case, I'd say try and use it with people in your own dwelling place. Don't go out and get people to do it because you're not supposed to interact with people more than you have to. That's part of the deal with the virus right now. So, yeah. Anyway, but you always, every time there's a creative option, and usually it is, that you could do a skit about any of the concepts that you found interesting in the chapter. So it doesn't have to be about the concept from the exercise. A third option is you come to class. Now, if you come to class, now in this case you'll have to do it by Zoom. If you come to class twice during the week, if you come in and you feel like you talk, and really, in order to pass that group discussion part, you really have to make sure that you're saying about 800 to 1,000 words. But we discuss as a group this chapter. Now, sometimes I've gotten on and everybody's chosen the essay in a particular week. And in that case, I just talk about the chapter to myself and record it. And if it goes to media site, it's good. So that's one of the things that happens. So this is just the first assignment, but every week is like that. Every week there's going to be 3 choices. You also have what I'm calling media artifacts. You have 2 of them. Media artifacts are longer papers, and you have 2 choices. You can either write a paper or do as a class. You choose at least 2 other people and do a group project, which is 10 minutes, and you explore the idea. This one, I want it 2,000 words, I want APA, I want all of those good things. This one, I want to see that you work together. So those are the media artifacts. You'll have 2 of those. And they're kind of self-explanatory. And then we're going to also present at the Academic Research Symposium. This comes from an old name. Let's call it preparation. Now, you can see the old name, right? Cooperative gaming. I'm hoping that someday we can get everything back to normal. And some of you probably actually took this class because it's developed a reputation at WNMU that we do role playing. We use modern D20 to play out some of the scenarios. You have fun. Your characters. You play characters, and the characters interact in a group, and then we write about that. We're not going to do that this year, and it's just too difficult right now to make that work with our overall course. So we're just not going to do that. I'm sorry about that. I wish that we were. I really thought about, well, I could make them all get on Roll20 and Zoom. And I just, at the end, I just decided it's really not going to work. It's just not going to. And it was always an optional part of the class. And hopefully in the future we can do that again, but we can't. So if you're taking this class for that reason, you know what I'd say? Drop it. Take it next semester. I mean, I love you. I would love to keep you in the class. When I say drop it, I don't mean leave. I do mean leave. I don't mean I want you gone. It's just, that's where we are. That's where we are. It's a sad situation in a lot of ways, but not the most sad part by any stretch of the imagination. That's what's going on here. And if you don't know what I'm talking about because you haven't heard what people do in this course that's so much fun, that's fine. You don't need to know what I'm talking about. But anyway, I'll be seeing all of you through Zoom, maybe just through papers that you send. I'll be communicating with all of you a lot over the next semester. I look forward to seeing you. If you have any questions, you can reply to this video in all the ways that I mentioned before. You can reply to it. And I'll start Zooming. I think this class is Tuesdays, so I'll probably start Zooming on Tuesday, okay? Go in peace. Bye.